Welcome to my channel Living Linux. In an earlier video I tested Stable Diffusion on the Radxa Rock 5A, which has the Rockchip RK3588S system on a chip. And today I'm going to test it on a Radxa Rock 5B, but not on a Debian-based system, but on BredOS, which is Arch-based. So here you can see BredOS Linux, and the kernel is for the RK3588. So you can follow this text. Well, the disk image is going to be a bit different, but I also have some other videos where I explain how to write a disk image with DD. But I assume you are able to do this yourself. And this is where you see the differences between Debian-based and Arch-based. So these commands to update the system. On Arch, that's a bit different. So you can do sudo pacman -SYU, and that should be the same as these two commands. After that, you can just follow all these instructions. The only thing you have to be aware of that this is a username, so yeah, you have to replace that with your own username, and it also will come back later on. For instance, yeah, also these cd commands, then you have to be careful that you replace this with your own user. And yeah, once you want to start it, you see it here too, and also the path to the model file. And yeah, let's go back to this. Yeah, Bild Essential, that is also a bit different on Arch. So there it's base-devel, and you can also install unrar and cmake and git. So instead of sudo apt install, you do sudo pacman -SY. But that should basically be it. From there, you should be able to just to follow the instructions. And in this example, he did an astronaut on riding a horse on Mars. Well, because we're on BredOS, yeah, I did it a bit different. Just a simple prompt, a loaf of bread. And here you can also see that I replaced the username because I used the username Living Linux. So the thing with Stable Diffusion is even if you execute the same prompt again, then you probably still get a different, well, a slightly different image. So this was my first attempt. So yeah, I think you can recognize this as a loaf of bread. And just to get these timings on the screen, I did another attempt, also just simply a loaf of bread. So and I think you can also recognize this as a loaf of bread. Perhaps this part where it looks that it's perhaps sliced. Yeah, that's perhaps it doesn't really look like bread, perhaps more like cake. I don't know. But at least the top part, that is, in my opinion, recognizable as bread. So this was just a short video to show that it also works on a Arch-based distribution. And I will try to run Stable Diffusion on more systems, so not just based on the Rockchip RK3588. I already did an attempt on the Raspberry Pi 4, but it didn't work for me until now. But I think I'll just try to play around with this timestamp, that perhaps it has worked in the past, and that with newer revisions of the XNN pack that it broke, or perhaps it has never worked on a Raspberry Pi 4, I don't know. But I will try to do some more testing. I have an M-Logic A311D coming that should arrive in a couple of days, so I will also try it on that one. I also have some plans to try to test it on Windows subsystem for Linux, so that I can try to test it on a Snapdragon 8CX. I'm expecting that it should be even faster on the Snapdragon 8CX than it is on the Rockchip RK3588. So, but this was just a quick video to show that it is possible to do it on Arch. And that's all for now, and I hope to see you again in my next video.